Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Charlotte Midweek. My name is Skyny Beatha with Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools. I have the pleasure of introducing our speaker for today's session, Ms. Dominique Milton. Before we start, today's workshop is being sponsored by Mitchell's Consulting Group. Please take a look at the video for a little information about their company.
Chiquita, would you like me to go?
Yes.
All right. Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Chiquita, for the opportunity to present to this group this morning. Today, we're going to be talking about advocacy groups and why advocacy groups help business owners. So my name is Dominique Milton, and I'm President and CEO of the Carolinas, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council. You can just call us the council. And I have a background on the corporate side as well as an MBE. And when I was an MBE, we were able to catapult our business from concept all the way to $20 million in sales in a very short period of time because of the help of advocacy groups. So today I want to be able to share that experience with you and explain the benefits of advocacy groups. My contact information is here on the screen. The slides will be available after the presentation. So we are going to roll. Okay. So I want to start out with the facts, why we even need to talk about this. Small businesses with less than 499 employees account for over 99% of all businesses in America, and minority business owners account for 50% of all U.S. businesses. These owners, their families, and their business associates are one of America's most considerable untapped resources. Now, the contribution of MBEs to the U.S. economy is undeniable. MBEs collectively generate over $1.26 trillion in sales annually. But 50% of businesses fail because of lack of support and lack of planning. So advocacy groups, you'll learn today, will help you with that support. Now, there's a misnomer that, small businesses only cover certain categories of business. I want to share with you today that we have MBEs in our network covering a variety of businesses. We have, and I'm just going to share with you a sampling of MBEs. So we have an MBE who has food service product, and she has it in food service like Clemson and US Foods, and then she also has it on retail shelves of stores. We have another MBE. She has everything that can help with fire solutions, and she has about a $6 million business. We have an MBE out of North Carolina, Glenn Gonzalez, and he has a Jetic company. Before we went into COVID, he was under 10 million, and because of everybody shutting down flying on major carrier, now he's over $10 million. And then this is my favorite, Janice Bryant Howard. She was the first African-American woman to build and own a billion-dollar company. All of these are members of the council. It doesn't matter which level you start at. We have MBEs under $1 million, and we have MBEs into the billions, but we span the spectrum from sauce to airplanes to staffing companies, you name it. We can find an MBE to satisfy the needs of our corporate partners. Now here I want to share, I always like to start out with a success story. I want to share this story because I know this couple personally, and I met them when they would pack up their families and go down to the farmer's market on Sundays and Saturdays to share their sauce recipe. They'd make burgers and sell the burgers so that they can demonstrate the sauce. They are a true success story. A couple of things I want you to recognize as you watch this video about this couple is that I've been told by Lowe's, which you'll hear about, they were extremely coachable. They had the label one color, and through this program, they were told you need to change the label to another color, and they were able to do that. They are also stepping outside the box in terms of marketing. I would have never thought to introduce them to Lowe's home improvement store, but when you go into Lowe's, their sauce is next to the grills. So way out of the box thinking and marketing. And then thirdly, they are servant leaders. If you needed help, anybody listening needed help, they would be willing to help you and help you get connected with the networks that they've gone through. They're in Walmart, they're in Lowe's. They've sold out on QVC. They were just on Good Morning America Deals and Steals and sold out there. So a huge success story. Chiquita, could you roll tape on Lowe's, please?
We were looking for some new and innovative ways to source and interact with small and diverse businesses. One of the ideas that we came up with was to host a Buying Days event right here at Lowe's headquarters.
Lowe's Supplier Diversity invited 44 vendors to its inaugural Buying Days event. Buyers and vendors learn more about each other, giving Lowe's time to get to know a couple from Charleston, South Carolina. Chevalo Wilson Debriano was a paramedic with the New York City Fire Department and served at Ground Zero on 9/11. He moved his family to Charleston in search of a new life, and along with his wife, developed a unique product.
What we make is a gourmet burger marinade and gourmet burger sauce.
What's unique about it is both gluten-free and low in sodium.
We like to call this an accidental business because when our products were created, we weren't trying to have a business. We were just enjoying a barbecue with our family.
We wanted something special, and we got fresh herbs and spices that were very flavorful. We threw it into a bowl, just hodgepodge with our burger meat, put it in the patties, and we just grilled it.
Our family and friends loved it, and I said to Chevalo, I think we should sell this. And that's literally how it was born. It was a total accident.
The Buying Days event helped make Lowe's more approachable for this small company, and their products will soon be in 543 Lowe's stores.
Supplier diversity really helped us to navigate everything, to understand what it took to become a supplier and do business with Lowe's. Without them, we would not be in this position right now. Lowe's can definitely help us to become a household name. So I'm excited to be in the #1 store for selling grills in the United States. So that's pretty awesome.
Thank you, Chiquita. So when they went to Lowe's, the first question that Lowe's asked them is, are you certified? And they were able to say, yes, we're certified with CVMSDC. Chiquita, what screen do you see up right now?
I see you.
You see me? Okay, I'm going to have to reshare. Sometimes technology works in our favor. Okay. Okay, do you see the Lowe's screen again?
Yes, we do.
Okay, fabulous. Thank you so much. So again, when they went to Lowe's, they were able to say that they were certified, and Lowe's was able to take them through their program. Now they're nationwide with Lowe's. So just a fabulous success story and a true benefit to being part of our network. So why get certified? You benefit with every certification that you have. And I say that when I was in MBE, we were woman-owned, 8A, minority-owned. We got every certification that we could. Because each certification opens you up to a different network of support. There's advocacy, there's developmental opportunities, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. We make connections for you. It helps for our corporate partners, such as Lowe's, to be able to verify that you are indeed a certified MBE. And then there's access to capital, access to the contacts that you want. So it's a faster way to success. Now, if you see the clock over on the left, I like to say, you have 24 hours in a day. That is your bandwidth. That's all that you can do. And if you look at some billionaires, they have the same 24 hours in a day that you do, right? But you're wondering how they get more done than you can get done in your 24 hours. And the way they get that done is through advocates or extra help. So let's just say you join 3 advocacy groups and you then multiply your 24 hours in a day and you end up with 72 hours of bandwidth. So what I like to say is that we help you expand the bandwidth by providing resources to you, by connecting you, as opposed to you having to do this one by one. It's kind of like driving on an HOV lane. We help get you there faster than you could in the regular lane by being a member of an advocacy group. You still have to drive your own car. You still have to put your own gas into the car. And when you get there, you have to open the door, but we just help get you there faster. Then the other thing is access to funding. When we all went into this PPP crisis, a lot of people could not get access to the funding that they were looking for. our council, CVMSDC, went out and we created our own PPP fund loan bank, and were able to support a lot of MBEs. We were able to bring the resources to our MBEs from SBA and other organizations that could help fund you. So just knowing that those resources were out there. A lot of our corporate partners offered up scholarships to our MBEs, and we shared that information. As a matter of fact, Lowe's just gave us a scholarship, a significant grant, where we're going to be able to help MBEs who cannot afford our certification. We'll be able to give you grants to get you certified for a year. So tap into us for that, and there'll be more information forthcoming. So these are reasons why you would join an advocacy group. There are different types of advocacy groups. You have veteran-owned, small business, DOT, 8A, and then you have gender-based or ethnicity-based certification. So you have women-owned, and then you have minority-owned, okay? Again, I suggest that you certify with multiple groups. Now, I want to explain who we are. We are CVMSDC is part of NMSDC, and NMSDC is 48 years old. We were created back in 1972 by Executive Order of Richard Nixon. We are all 501c3s. And our CVMSDC is one of 23 regional affiliates, and I cover North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Right now, the slide says 12,000, but now we have over 13,000 MBEs and over 1,400 corporate partners. And we are led by Adrienne Trimble. She is our national president. She hails to us from Toyota, where she was able to turn that supply chain around and really make sure that minorities were part of their supply chain. So she had a significant impact there, and she's doing the same with our national council. There's a $401 billion economic impact that we're going to talk about a little bit later that NMSDC has realized. Now, CVMSDC covers, again, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. We've been in business for 44 years. And I always like to share with our listeners the mission of the council, because some people just don't understand. CVMSDC's mission is to expand business opportunities for minority business enterprises, we call them MBEs, and then create mutually beneficial links between our corporate partners, such as Lowe's, BMW, and our MBEs. The ultimate outcome is to add economic value to the supply chain while increasing economic opportunities in the business community. I like to say we help create wealth by the partnerships that we create. Our structure is such. In the middle, I have my small team. I call them the small and mighty team of 7 individuals. And then we're broken up into 6 rings. Those are our regional industry need group rings. Those are what I like to call our small working arms of the council. And so in each geographic region, we have 3 in North Carolina, 1 in Virginia, 2 in South Carolina. We have a small group that meets on a monthly basis where you can come around the table, sit down with those people you want to do business with, and help to plan events, help to promote the council, and then find out what opportunities are available. So it's a very engaging way for you to meet the people you want to do business with. And then on the left, you see one tunnel of our members are MBEs. We have over 13,000, as I already said. And then on the right, our corporate partners, over 1,500, and that's nationwide. And then we have community partners at the bottom, okay? We have 4 pillars of the work that we do. I like to keep things very simple. So our work is divided into 4 pillars. The first pillar is certification. Our organization is the largest certifying agency of minority-owned businesses in the United States. We set the industry standard. But once you get certified, I always tell folks, you put that in your back pocket. When somebody calls you and says, hey, when you talk to a corporation, they say, are you certified? Yes, I am. Here's my certification. But you never want to pick up the phone and lead with the certification. Oh, I just got certified last week. I'm calling to see if you have any business for minorities. That's not what they want to hear. They always want to hear about what value you bring to the table, how you're going to help them save money, how you're going to help them innovate. And when you lead with those things, it doesn't matter whether you're a minority or not. But when they ask you, you say, yes, I have my certification. But the 3 other pillars that we have are really where I like to hang our hat. Development is one of them. We help develop our MBEs. As I showed you up front, we have all different levels of MBEs. They're from under $1 million to in the billions, but we help develop you up the different ladders. And so there are training programs that we provide for free. This organization helps us with scholarships for those programs. So you might pay $400 for a membership with us. We in turn give you a $5,000 scholarship to go to the University of Richmond, to go to Tuck, to go to University of Chicago, or one of our homegrown programs like the Sunoco Leadership Program. We help fund you through those programs so that you can continuously develop your business, be the best of the best when you talk to our corporate partners about being in their supply chain. So that is a huge value add that we provide for our members. Connections, that's what we're all here for. Everybody wants to make those connections. But as I showed you up front in the HOV lane example, you can make connections on your own, one by one. You got to pick up the phone and make those individual contact calls. You might not be able to get in contact with the person that you need to do business with. We bring everybody together in the same room. We have 4 major connecting events a year. And we have matchmaking opportunities where you can actually sit down with the people you want to do business with and have that one-on-one conversation. So you can do business with corporations, you can do business with each other, and going to effective connecting events helps move that along faster. And then advocacy, just by the sheer size of our organization and the strong community partners that we have, we help move legislation. When we went into this pandemic crisis, we helped work with legislators to keep the lights on small businesses, to keep your water on, to provide PPP funding. The first PPP funding went away very quickly to some organizations that may not have needed it. And we went back and made sure that we were advocating to make sure our smaller businesses were heard and seen to get that funding that's needed. So those are the 4 pillars that we operate under. Now, who gets certified? It might be slightly different for the different organizations that I showed you up front that offer certification, but certification in our organization evaluates the ownership, management, control, citizenship, expertise, and independence of the minority who is trying to sign up with us. You have to be 51% owned, managed, and controlled by one or more ethnic minorities who are U.S. citizens. A company must be a for-profit business. We've had a lot of people come to us that have nonprofits. I said, you can attend our events, but to be a member, you have to be a for-profit business. And the company must be an independent entity that can demonstrate real and substantial ownership. So it just, you can't be somebody who says, okay, I want you to run this organization on paper. You actually need to be running that organization. You need to demonstrate functional operation. The company owner must demonstrate expertise in the core mission of the business. A company must become certified in the council where they're headquartered. So if you're headquartered in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, you can certify with us. If you're headquartered in Georgia, you certify with them, and then you can get a subscription with us. If you like the programs that we have, or you want to go to some of the developmental programs that we have, you can always become a subscriber with us. And a few of the people that I showed you up front were subscribers with our council. There's a lot of supporting documents that are required. The process, as I'll get very into detail at the end of this presentation, but the documents that you need to provide are documents that you should already have on hand. And we just ask you to upload them. It's completely confidential. And then we go through a process of evaluating your paperwork. Okay? So next, I want to talk about the economic impact of our work and trickle-down economics. This is more for corporations to understand the economic impact of what we do. When a company purchases from an MBE, there's a trickle-down effect. There's a direct impact, and then there's a supply chain impact, and then there's a community impact. And our next slide, Jeff Foster, he really demonstrates this extremely well. He built this building you see up on the right in an economic empowerment zone. He hired a Black architect to design it and a Black contractor to build it. He employs a lot of people in the community, and he has completely changed the structure of that community. When I met Jeff, I was an MBE, and he was playing golf at one of our events, and he was playing golf with somebody from Altria. And the person asked him, what do you do? And he says, well, I have a plastics molding company. At that time, he had a very small plastics molding company. And Jeff didn't think anything of the conversation. But the gentleman said, hey, can I come and see your facility? Well, in a few weeks, he had a 30,000 part order for Altria. And he has since catapulted his business. Now he is a tier 1 supplier to BMW. There is not a car that rolls off the line in South Carolina that doesn't have one of his parts in the BMW. So Shakita, can we roll tape for Jeff, please? Thank you, Chiquita. One thing that I will add about this gentleman is that he was able to pivot. When we were going through the shutdown, he was able to change his manufacturing operation and pivot and start making face masks. Can you see my screen, Chiquita, with Jeff on it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So an excellent example of trickle-down economics. And now, let's see if this will. Okay, so I'm going to get back to that $401 billion that we talked about earlier. We did an economic impact study at the national level, and we found that the economic impact of supplier diversity is $401 billion on a national level with our members. We have income supported of $96 billion, 1.6 million jobs supported, and half of those jobs are at locations where MBEs own those. 528,000 jobs are at locations where MBEs own the operation. I then took a study of our local footprint because I wanted to see, how does that relate to us in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia? And we have a 19.3 economic production, $2.9 billion in income supported, 57,000 jobs supported, and of those 57,000 jobs, 30,000 of them are at minority-owned companies, and $290 million in taxes. So it's not this feel-good thing to do business with a minority business. There's a true economic impact behind it. And this is my favorite slide. For every dollar that a corporation invests in a minority business, in terms of revenue, there's a $1.72 GDP impact. This is, again, the trickle-down economics. MBEs create opportunities for minorities. 65% of employees at certified MBEs are minorities, so there's jobs that are created. Incomes. Through these jobs, you foster economic advancement. So now you're empowering people with incomes. And then community development. Spending through minorities leads to growth and development in their communities. And I always like to say, you've heard the old adage, you give a man a fish and he eats for a day. You teach a man to fish and he eats for a lifetime. I always want to take that a little bit further and say, we're not just teaching people to fish with our development, but we are opening doors so that those people who know how to fish can then build fisheries and fishing processing plants. We want to build organizations like you saw with Jeff, where we are actually part of the supply chain and changing the economies around us. These are some of our corporate partners, just some of them. These are the ones who spend more than $15,000 a year with us. We have, as I showed you earlier, 1,450 corporate partners, plus or minus on any given day. But these are the ones in our local footprint. So if you see somebody on this slide, oh, I've been trying to get with Dominion Energy or Sunoco Enterprise, these are people who are around the table with us all the time, all right? And then at the bottom, you see our educational partners that work with us, and then folks who give us in-kind support, okay? And again, this is not all inclusive, okay? So let's roll tape with Connie. Connie really tells the story best, and I always think it's better to hear from our MBEs, their success story, and why they're engaged with the council. So Chiquita, if you can run Connie's story, I would appreciate it.
Is to create a healthier and more productive workspace in a very cost-effective manner with live green plants. Buckingham Greenery has been in business for 36 years as of October of 2018. We've grown and we continue to grow. We've been really fortunate that we've been able to survive 3 different types of recessions, and it's made us more resilient. I started with the Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council about 30 years ago. Their certification program is one of the strictest nationally. I wanted to be sure that if I was going to be certified, that I was correctly certified. You have to establish relationships. It's not something that it's going to happen overnight. So I always recommend to fellow certified MBEs that you have to go to events. You have to be seen. You have to have your capability statement, be involved on committee, a project. When they ask for volunteers, volunteer, because then you get to know not only the staff, but the corporate partners, because they are the volunteers that are putting together an event. And that's how I got a lot of work. I would go to events, you meet some company people, and they say, oh, well, we have an opportunity here, and it just starts snowballing from that point on. I have a fabulous team of people. We have over 350 years of service. When you're really passionate about what you're doing, you love it, and it's not even work. You get to love what you do and do what you love.
She sums it up so well. Get back to my screen. Okay, so that's Connie. And if you take one thing away from what she said, it's just get involved. You know, you're listening here today about how to get involved in advocacy groups, but I will tell you that you can sign up for any number of advocacy groups that you want, but if you don't get engaged, if your actions are not intentional, you will not get the value out of that membership. As she said, you need to volunteer, you need to show up, you need to attend the meetings, be very intentional about how you spend your time, and that's when you reap the benefits. We never want anyone to be a card-carrying member of CVMSDC. When I sign folks up, I want them to totally be engaged with the process so that they can reap the benefits. Okay? Let's see. Okay. So what do you do? How do you go about this process? The actual application process, as you heard, ours is a very rigorous process. It takes from 45 to 90 days to actually get your certification, depending on whether or not you have all your paperwork provided. You have to provide all the required documentation up front before we even do our second step in the process. Then we have a team. First, it's reviewed by our certification staffer. Then we'll come out and we'll do a site visit. One of our team members will do a site visit with you. If you operate from your home, we'll do a site visit with you in a very neutral location. However, if you have an office location, we will come there and we want to see all of your paperwork. We have a review committee of 9 corporate members who then take all the paperwork, take all the notes and information from our site visit, and they vote on whether or not you meet the criteria to become a certified MBE. And then once it goes out to vote, then we will let you know whether or not you've passed or not. So your next step for those listening who are interested is to go to affiliate.nmsdc.org. Again, all these slides will be available, and I'll give you a link at the end where you can email and get this information sent to you if that's how you need it. But you need to go, and when you go to this NMSDC site, there is a login, and you need to go, it's in the upper right-hand corner, you go to that login, and you have to request to get your own login ID. And that's how the process starts. If you are a class 1, which is under $1 million, it's $400. But as I said to you earlier on, I don't know where you can go, spend $400 and then somebody invests $5,000 in you. After you get certified, and you have to get recertified every year, your recertification fee then drops down to $350. I mentioned subscriptions to you earlier. If your business is based in another state, like a Georgia, Florida, and you want to subscribe to us, the subscription fee is $450. And then it goes up from there based on where you are. 1 to 10 million is a class 2, 10 to 50 million is a class 3, and over 50 million is a class 4. I mentioned to you earlier that you can do business with each other. If you are a class 1 MBE or any MBE on this scale, there's plenty of opportunity to do business with your class 4, class 3, and class 2 MBEs. So I always stress to people, don't lose the opportunity while you're waiting to get that big contract with BMW to do business with each other. But these are the actual levels of certification that you can apply for. Once you get your login information, you need to check your email to confirm and follow the instructions that are provided for you. There's a pre-qualification survey. You need to fill out the online application, save all the documents that you put together in individual PDF files and upload them into your application. You need to print the declaration of minority status. So just because you look like a minority, it doesn't matter. We have to prove it on paper that you are actually a minority. So there's a declaration of status that you need to have notarized and filled out. And we have done a really good job of pivoting during this time. You know, we're not coming out to do site visits at your location during COVID. So everything that we're doing is virtual, pending when we come out of this phase that we're in, pending going back and doing a site visit with you. But so everything right now can be done online, uploaded into our system. And that's pretty much the process there. Margolette Brown, anybody who's listening today who is already a certified MBE knows that Margolette Brown will handhold you through the entire process and help you to become certified. Our goal is to get you through the process, okay? You must pay before the process goes through, and the payment is non-refundable. So there is a way for you to come and explore whether or not this is for you. We have what's called a pre-certification briefing. You can attend that. You go online to cvmsdc.org and go to our calendar. And once a month, I think it's the third Wednesday of the month, there's a pre-certification briefing. You can attend that. You can attend our ring meetings. I showed you in a very earlier slide where we have those ring meetings, local, regional, industry groups, needs groups. You can attend those meetings. You can attend our events and see whether this is for you before you actually submit your application and pay online, okay? So there's Marjolette's information, how you can contact Marjolette Brown, Director of Certification. It's for those listening in on the phone, it's marjolette.brown@cvmsdc.org. Her phone number is 804-663-7785. And to make it easier for you so there won't be any misspellings, you could just do info, I-N-F-O, @cvmsdc.org, and we can provide you with further information. I will add that once you go through our certification process, it's quite easy to go through some other certification processes because you'll have all of your paperwork in order. Okay. Finally, I invite each of our listeners to go to our website, sign up for our events, sign up for our calendar, look in our calendar for our webinars. We have 3 different webinar series. One is called Straight Talk, where Lasagna Berry meets, she's our MBIC chair. She's the voice of the MBEs in our network. She meets with different corporate leaders to really expose to you how to do business with those corporations. I have a Lunch and Learn series where I bring to you our new corporate partners and you can understand why they become new members. And then we have what's called a virtual capability briefing. That is something we created because our members could not be face-to-face with our corporate partners. And so we wanted to create a mechanism by which they can capture their capabilities and be able to present them to our corporate partners. And so you sign up for a virtual capability briefing with me, we record the session, you explain your product or service, and then we give you that to land on your website, and we leave it on our website as well. You can visit our website and see all the previous footage that we have available right now. Also, we have newsletters that go out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can sign up online at on our website to get our newsletters. And in those newsletters, it's packed with information to be able to help you. Again, our goal is to help make you connected to the people that you want to do business with and to help you grow financially. And one person just gave a testimony last week. They said, I just got $10,000 from Bank of America to further my education. She can use that at any school that she wants to, but she would not have known about that grant opportunity that was available unless she was plugged into our network. So you heard me say earlier on that we have 4 connecting events a year. This year, because of COVID, we had to pivot. All of us have had to pivot, right? So we had to pivot, and we took our large conference, the Business Opportunity Conference, and our MBE Summit, merged them together into an event that's called Reemerge, Planning for the Future of Your Business. It's going to help you be able to pivot into 2021. That will be in a virtual event on December 2nd and 3rd. A registration for that event is going to open today or tomorrow. You can visit our website to get information on that. And the price is very, very nominal for MBEs. So I invite you to join that. We'll have matchmaking, we'll have developmental workshops, we're going to have some awards, and just a great way for you to learn about the council and be exposed. Again, you do not have to be a member to partake in some of these opportunities. You can't matchmake unless you're a member, but to get all the other information, you can do that as a non-member as you feel your way through to see whether this is something that is for you, okay? So I thank you for attending. Before we, well, Chiquita, let's roll the last commercial and then we'll go into Q&A, okay?
As a certified minority business and crisis management expert, I help companies plan for success. CVMSDC is a part of my plan.
We are committed to helping our community succeed by partnering with diverse-owned enterprises to fill our third-party service needs.
Having access to a stream of opportunities and benchmarking with peers keeps Asfalis competitive.
Our corporate membership with CVMSDC helps us find certified MBEs and make connections that we will not otherwise have.
I encourage all MBEs to align with advocacy groups like CVMSDC.
Join me and the Capital One family at cvmsdc.org and let's grow together.
Thank you, Chiquita. So let's open it up for Q&A.
There's one question that came in that says, are the advocacy groups open to business owners that have not completed their certification yet?
Absolutely. As I said, you do not have to be certified with us to attend our meetings, to participate in the developmental programs, the scholarships, and the matchmaking. You have to be a member, but you can attend up to 2 ring meetings before you decide to join. And I highly encourage you to do that, just to see the value of what we bring to the table. You can attend any of our big events like the Reemerge event I just mentioned. You can absolutely attend that event before joining, and you will see the value that we bring to the table. Any other questions?
Can you share again how to become a member?
Okay, so what screen do you see up right now?
Of you.
Of me? Okay, so the best way to become a member is to email us at info@cvmsdc.org. If you email us there, then we can put our certification specialist in contact with you. And Marjolette Brown, who is right here on the screen, Marjolette Brown, her number is 804-663-7785. She will walk you through the process. Also, if you go to cvmsdc.org, there's a link in the right-hand corner for MBEs to get certified now. You go in and you put your name in. It's a long process. You have to get an ID and a login ID, and then we take you through the process to upload your paperwork. But the easiest way is to email us at info@cvmsdc.org, and we will help walk you through the process. Thank you for the question. Any others, Chiquita?
I do not see any additional questions out there. Dominique, on behalf of the Planning Committee, we would like to thank you and CVMSDC for being a presenter for us today. And I would like to close with our workshop sponsor, so we have a chance to highlight one of our MBEs that have sponsored Charlotte Med Week.
Thank you for the opportunity, Chiquita.
At Mitchell Consulting Group, we create strategies that build futures. Our experience and expertise can assist you with maximizing the impact of your supplier diversity program. Using state-of-the-art project and program management techniques, Mitchell Consulting Group will take your project from conception to implementation. Our services include program evaluation and design to help you build a 5-star program. Elevate your understanding by performing an economic impact analysis, which will show you how your program impacts the wages and employment in your community. We have years of experience designing and executing targeted community engagement events that produce outcomes to meet your desired objectives. Let Mitchell Consulting Group help you create strategies that build futures.
Excellent. She just became a member of CVMSDC.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This concludes our workshop. Please check our event platform for additional sessions that are scheduled for later today. And Ms. Milton, thank you for all of your assistance today and for the valuable information that you shared.
Thank you so much.